Hello and welcome to the morning news. My name is Dino. And here is the story. To all Jamaicans at home and abroad, this Independence Day, let us take a moment to reflect on our journey as a nation. Our vibrant culture, distinctive music, and indomitable spirit have always been our identity. Let us remember our heroes who fought relentlessly for our freedom, our resilience that has carried us through tough times, and our unity that makes us stronger. Happy Independence Day. 18-year-old shot by licensed firearm holder during Portmore attack charged. The police have charged an 18-year-old man who was shot during an attack on a man at a business establishment in Portmore, St. Catherine. Charged with assault at common law, unauthorized possession of prohibited ammunition, and unauthorized possession of the prohibited weapon is Kawasi Smith, a laborer of Portmore Villa, Gregory Park in Portmore. The police say the incident happened on Thursday, June 29. It is reported that at about 8:27 p.m., a man was at a business place along Baptist Road in Portmore when he heard a single explosion that sounded like a gunshot. Shortly after, he reportedly saw two men walking briskly towards him, one of whom pulled a firearm from his waistband and pointed it at him. He reportedly became fearful for his life, and in defense, he pulled his firearm and opened gunfire in their direction. The firearm fell and the men ran in separate directions. The police say Smith later turned up at the hospital where he was treated and subsequently released into the custody of cops. He was subsequently charged following an identification parade and an interview session. His accomplice is still at large. His court date is being finalized. Holness dismisses the claim that DPP's time extended to benefit government members. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has rubbished suggestions that the increase in retirement age for Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, Paula Llewellyn, extending her time in office, is a compromise that could yield favorable outcomes for members of his administration in the future. Holness, who was speaking during a press briefing on Thursday at the office of the Prime Minister, called the claim nonsense. The parliamentary opposition has suggested that the extension of Llewellyn's tenure could ultimately influence the outcome of the Integrity Commission's investigation of 6 legislators suspected of illicit enrichment. 7 others are under the searchlight for allegedly providing false information to the anti-corruption body. It is unbecoming of someone who holds a constitutional office to bring into disrepute literally another constitutional office holder, Holness said, declining to comment further on matters related to the Integrity Commission. Leader of the opposition Mark Golding, during the debate to amend sections 96(1) and 121(1) of the Constitution, said the director of the corruption prosecution at the Integrity Commission may be asked to consider whether charges should be made at the end of the investigations of the parliamentarians. He also noted that the director of the corruption prosecution at the Integrity Commission was subject to the supervening authority of the DPP under the Constitution. The rush to make these amendments happening now in that context is also something that requires some explanation, he said. The opposition has accused the government of ramming the amendment to the Constitution through both houses of Parliament. The change to the legislation has moved the retirement age for the office holders of the DPP and Auditor General from 60 to 65. The change would give Llewellyn a second extension in office, increasing her 15-year tenure to at least 17. Holness said it is now up to Llewellyn, who is on 3 weeks leave, whether she will take up the extension even as she faces strong opposition from civil society groups and the Jamaican Bar Association. It really depends on the DPP. She has an option if she wants, he said. He said that changing the retirement age was an objective to fulfill a government policy, which started as far back as the Bruce Golding administration. He said it was also a discussion during the subsequent People's National Party government as part of International Monetary Fund considerations. Holness said that it found its way into a cabinet decision, and then legislation moved by the Minister of Justice. It was debated in Parliament. So if you are asking about consultation, that's the ultimate consultation, so the issue of the increase in the pensionable age is something that has been well defined. The question is, why would there be an objection to this? And it would appear that the objection is not uniform. The objection is to one particular office versus the other, said Holness. There have been calls for Llewellyn, who turned 63 in September, not to accept the extension. The first extension was granted in 2020 and is set to end next month. Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis, who began her tenure a month apart from Llewellyn, is in her early 50s. She, too, could benefit from the amendment. Trill Fund hands over $43,625,000 in scholarships, grants in Hanover, Western Bureau. 264 students from Hanover, who are pursuing varying degrees of studies, will have one less thing to worry about come the start of the 2024 academic year, as the Trill Fund, one of the parish's premier charities, will be covering their educational expenses to the tune of $43,625,000. On Thursday, the 53-year-old Trill Fund, which has had a long history of supporting educational and health initiatives in Hanover, handed out the scholarships and grant checks to the students at a scholarship awards ceremony at the Trill Club Great House. The students 38 at the high school level, 16 in 6th form, 40 attending community colleges, 151 at the university level, and 19 doing graduate studies, received scholarships and grants varying from $50,000 to $300,000. It is a remarkable testament to the Trill Fund's inclusive approach to education that 50 of this year's recipients are adults returning to school, seeking to further their skills and knowledge for a better future, said Carol Radke, president of the Trill Fund. We are incredibly proud of our scholarship recipients for their perseverance, dedication, and commitment to their education. The Trill Fund firmly believes in the transformative power of education, and we are honored to play a part in shaping the lives of these talented individuals, added Radke. Praised for commitment. Annalie Adams, who spoke on behalf of the high school and 6th form recipients, praised the unwavering commitment of the Trill Fund, saying their investment in the education of young persons like herself has significantly impacted many lives. It is through your generosity that we have been given an opportunity to pursue our dreams and strive for excellence in our lives, said Adams. The scholarships will help us to realize our fullest potential. I am urging you, my fellow beneficiaries, to try to give back to society at some point in your lives. Nashika Ellis, who spoke on behalf of the community college recipients, expressed much gratitude, saying that grants are most welcome as they seek to better themselves through education. Scholarships are crucial in helping people to overcome financial constraints in their educational journey towards their full potential, and to provide ambitious academics with the necessary instruments to achieve their goals, said Ellis. With these scholarships, we are no longer as financially burdened to pursue our educational endeavors as before, as now we are free to concentrate on our academics and take advantage of the chances that lie ahead. Radke also used the opportunity to extend gratitude to the individuals who were extremely generous in their contributions to the Trill Fund, which continues to change lives in the Western Parish.